4 backtesting until I am profitable. So today is Friday, NFP day. Took a small L today, but we're standing good. We're standing on business. So let's get started on the backtesting. You can see the L here. So 2021 ICT futures model. I think we'll actually finish this one. And again, the model I trade is sweep, shift, retracement, or sweep, change the state, retracement, change the state, or a fair value gap, and continuation. And together if we have an SMT at the lows, I'm trying to build my model, but kind of off of Justin's model, the forever model, but building it as mine, adding backtesting it to see what fits me more. Okay, so let's start with the daily. All-time highs, we are at the all-time highs, and again, so when we are at all-time highs, what I look for is, well, we don't have, obviously have buy side, but look at this price action here, low, so it might drop, but we don't have any reason, it hasn't shown us any reason to continue dropping, to start dropping, which means that we've taken out a high. So if it shows us reasons to drop, then we target maybe that high, but so far nothing more, just look for buys. So here look like it's standing in nicely. 1H has a good gap here, so I might potentially retrace to this gap, but I'm looking for buys, potentially some small retracement, maybe take out these lows, then look for price to continue higher. That will be the only thing that will make me enter the marketplace. You can see we have relatively equal lows here from the kill on 7 right here. So let's see what happens. If we might take them out, then I would look for some potential buys, and if we don't, then I sit on my hands and see what the market does. So we end up not taking out any of those. And funny thing is that we had an SMT. Oh, I think it was called 11 NQ, even though it wasn't that heavy, like, yes. So boom, reject a 5-minute gap here, and let's see if any market provides any entry. Yo, 5-minute kind of worked out, is relatively equal highs. Let's see if we can drop those lows there. Leave behind a 5-minute gap. For this one, I'd like to see price reject the gap and continue higher. So 4-minute has a gap as well, and it took out a low while doing that, or rejecting the gap. So look at the 4 minutes here. Gap 1 minute, we have this sweep. We put in this change in the state of delivery, close above retracement, and it looks like price is gonna go high for me. Sorry, not for me, but in my eyes, it looks like it's gonna go high. So, well, we have some obvious price swings, like this small swing here. See if we can get the low hanging fruit of it. So, level 2, level 3 will give us here, but I'd like to see if we can reach the level 4 as well. Somewhere around there. So this is just like a game of letting the probabilities play out, not playing every time with entries. But yeah. So this STFIP came in handy. You can see we started having some rejections when we reached this level here. Refute takes to TP. Bring SL to this swing here. And price ends up showing signs that it will reverse. We're at 1040, but I'm still waiting for that level 4 to get hit. We can get a full take profit. So you can see that price ends up hitting full TP at 12:10, like a few minutes. But lesson from here is when you move your SL to break even, well, keep in mind the consequences, because you can see that the consequences took me out right here. But it's not bad, pretty much good morning swing, made like 400, so yeah, break even. Now let's go to the next day, because obviously the AM session's done, and I'm not currently learning to test the PM, it's just the AM. So how does it look like here? Bullish until market proves us otherwise. So we don't have a huge expansion candle, but what I can see is that market opened somewhere around here. So we created a new day open gap, dropped first high and came back here. So the daily is not much, but let's see what we can use it for. Yeah, so you can see that we have the gap here. Price closes here, market opens here. So we face the new day open gap. This and this. That's one of the daily. Exactly. Now, that's the 4H. Let's use the 1H. I'm find this new day open gap. It will be a good draw. The reason is, well, it looks like we're consolidating inside of here. So if we take out a high, then I'll obviously look out for a low to get taken out, and we've already taken out the London highs right here. So since we've taken out London highs, I'd like to see the London lows get taken out, and maybe potentially Asia lows. So either there's eco lows here as well, and this here. Now these are newly opened up. Okay, let's use end dot here. Okay, so both of these will be end dogs. We've taken out London high. We're dropping nicely. So we think we had some news here. Hence the candle was core personal consumption stuff. It was medium impact, so I hope it doesn't create any chaos. So I'm looking for price to probably expand lower. It might reject the CE of this week, push into the week, then drop, but we'll see what the market does. We don't have to predict it, we just have to react accordingly. Few minutes to the open, and market opens, hits consequent encroachment. Now going down to 1 minute, we don't have any huge moves, but you can see we have taken out here. I have some kind of gap. Like to see a confluence to make me enter though. Okay, market's dropping up. How's this looking like here? From this to this. Well, not an SMT. Whoa. What's this? SMT at the highs. So we've put in an SMT here. So I should check yes. Now I have a Shanian state right here. Price dropped, retraced into this gap. I almost ready to take us out there, but it didn't. It ended up putting another change in state right here, and a shift in market structure. So I'd like to see a retest of the gap at least. So we don't get the gap retest that we were waiting for, but yeah, price was really looking nice, and this was the first presented gap there, and we obviously end up taking out all the targets, which is really clean. So since my targets for the day have been hit, I wouldn't be waiting for anything. I didn't find an entry. Like, everything was quite straight, real quick to the point. And ES is now forming an SMT, so we're taking out the highs, now we're looking. So we're taking out the lows, now we're working from the highs. So 5 minute change in the state retracement. I like to see price reject and continue higher. So let's go to the PM session. 1 hour. So let's do some kind of reanalysis. We have a cool sweep of the morning lows. We're in this huge gap, and honestly this is looking like it might provide some bullish movement. This might provide some bullish movement soon. So how's this looking right here? Okay, putting in some SMTs, and look at this placement to the consequent encroachment. So it was really nice having those targets. So I'd like to see price head now for these relatively equal highs, which is obviously there. Good level of buy side liquidity. Now down to 5, we're about to form a change in the state. Took out a low there. The 1 minute, I think we've already did that, but let's go time frames of 1 minute. Not just yet. 3 minutes, no, 2 minutes. We actually closed above here, retraced and started pushing high, which is really clean. Look at this small gap inside here. So I'm looking for price to obviously go higher. Let's see where I can position myself inside of this movement. So we drop again. Still waiting. Nothing killing though. Nothing appearing yet. Price is leaving out behind some crazy wicks. I don't think today is our trading day. Okay, so we have started getting some momentum. Well, we're still on the consequent encroachment of the week though. Taking out a good sell side here. 5 minutes. 4, 3. I like to wait for a family gap or change in state to get retested, nothing other than that. And retest this nice gap. So if we write this, so it reaches to those highs, but it will just like to see like probably a 3 hour, not a 1 hour. Let's see what this does. So typical movement that you can expect, but it was a nice move though, because you can see that it was a great change in the state and a retracement to this gap here. So if my entry was wise enough, it should have been on the gap, on the gap, stop somewhere around here, and obviously my target the high 2.6 hour, and I'm kind of confident I might reach there. That will depend on how the power hour behaves. It's also possible that I might stop as well. Stops us out like in the last minutes, explodes like crazy. Oh. Well, luckily we didn't take that trade. Prices started to consolidate. Now when we got the next day open, you can see this day was bearish. So I ended up closing bearish. And does that confirm that we're bearish? Not just yet. Look at what we have here this week. So if the open rejects this consequent encroachment of the week, then daily low will be sell side target. This one here will be our sell side targets. And 4H is pretty much set to happen. After all, these are some highs from last week that if we take them out, then we might expand lower, look for some rebalance. But since price hasn't shown us that yet, we'd like to see more price action print out to see how we can react accordingly. So on 1H, don't have much, no gaps, no important gaps except for this the blocks that were supporting price recently. Still don't have much yet, but looks like we're taking out the high and we're in this good gap. Now let's see what happens at the open. Market opens and we're already taking out the high, so I don't think price gonna drop anytime soon, but it will depend. It will depend. We're not done yet. We're not done just yet. Price just took out a high that ES took out like a millennium ago. Honestly, Tell me how you will trade today. Look at this. Like price already moved around 60 points at the open. I'm not pretty sure if you can just trade it just like that. And for ES, price has already dropped below this low that we created at 9:30, and this one here. So I'd like to see NQ drop as well. So that's the first. Okay, 4, 2. Okay, so this is looking nice. I have this. Change the state. One. Change the state. And did we retest the gap? Well, we did before creating the change in state. Let's see if we can have another gap to reject. So we put in another sweep. Let's see how this goes. So it's clear that we were on the bias. So since double-minded, you can see sweep again, change state or shift, increasement, and price expands higher. And obviously we use this price swing as the standard deviation, and this is the target of price, or that comes square encroachment of the 2.5 low. So ended up not getting big before, but it was looking not very clear enough. You can see that money moved way too strong. Then PM session did some small movements. PM session was from here to here. And you can see it probably around 60 points as well. Let's go to daily. So I was posted like left behind down close candle, have this kind of gap, but bullish, aren't we? I don't have any reason to go lower. Very nice for a gap that I'd like to see the price rebalance from, and it's also in the 1H paired with previous day lows and a real good London low. But disregarding that, look at this nice order block, down close kind of followed by a gap. We have a sweep. So should we say that London lows will get taken out? I'm quite hesitant. I don't think these London lows will get taken out, but instead they will hold for us to continue going higher. Let's see how it looks like. So I think 5 minute, yeah, 5 minute has a good gap here. How about we swing it to get these relatively go highs? Then like this with my stop right there, and the target will be a little bit small though, 1-to-1. Okay, screwed up. That will be a screwed up risk to reward though. Let's see, something like this. This will be a 2R. And we also have a change in the state here, so let's just take it. You already have a 30-minute analysis. That will be handy. let's see what happens at the open, because obviously it's the open that we're waiting for. If the open shows us some good signs, we might add to our position. Yo, what's this? Crazy SMT as well. So let's close this cell right there. So price takes out the low, but still didn't take out this one. So key lesson from here, stop should be right here. If we go to the 1 minute, end up putting in change the state of delivery right there. But this is the first few minutes of market open, so you can just judge it based off of these few moves. So price retraces into 2 minute gap. This one here, coupled with a good change in the state of delivery. Let me see if we can get another tap. And we tap it again on the 5. 3, 2, 1. Well, we're inside that gap that I'd like to see price reject. And this will be the entry. Let's take another small risk. Wait, I'm risking 0.5. It's crazy. And what's the reasoning behind this trade? Let's first put some things in the journal, such as the image. So reasoning, well, we've already had the sweep, just this one. So we can see projection 2 to 2.5 will be somewhere inside there. So we end up dropping heavily. Come on, why would this happen like this? I just still don't understand. So transparent question of the week. Reject it, create a good fair value gap after this change the state, and then start pushing higher. Highs here. They get attacked. So 10.27 to 10, somewhere around 10.27 to 10.57 was a good trade. Yeah, didn't get that one, but price gave us what we deserved. We were having some kind of big ego, and it's telling us to calm down, chill. So remember, on the new day open, on the daily time frame, and honestly the time frame is still looking bullish. Nothing big. We have a daily gap though. Or in this 4H gap, we've closed below it, rested kinda. 1 hour, created some relatively equal lows, paired with London lows. So low, high. These are the London low highs, London lows, and some Asia highs as well. And by the looks of it, looks like we're respecting this 1H gap. And since we've started embracing, remember, 4H, I'd like to see price reject and continue forward maybe to this open the nose right here. Let's see how price opens up. It would be beautiful if it opened up with a manipulation move. Oh god. Opened up really heavily, then started dropping. No gaps left behind because that's the only way I would like to enter. But I left behind some relatively equal highs. Okay, this is looking kind of clean. So we've taken out the lows, London lows. Yeah, right. And we've got this change in state of delivery and this gap inside there. I'd like to see if price will reject kind of like this. My entry there, step around there, take profit those relatively equal highs right there. This retracement was ugly, real ugly. This retracement was ugly, man. How did price reach all the way here? Like, how many handles? 4 handles to take profit, then reversed and hit take profit, hit stop loss. I was looking for this high to get taken out, but oh, should have watched ES because ES took it out a little bit earlier than NQ did. So GG's, not bad. No, that one was nice. Where the one who keeps growing our win rate. So I'm pretty much not going to be trading this rest time of the chop up and wait for this price to set a clear direction, because when we're at all-time highs again, we're kind of crazy in the movements. Wouldn't like yourself to get chopped up. And funny thing is that this was the first presented fair value gap, this one right there. So the next day open and do the same thing again. So yesterday I had closing push. What does that show me? I might be looking for lows, and hence looking for this low to get tagged out. Except that market shows me signs of a going higher. So another thing, mark for H, clean sweep. 1H, good fair value gap here, tapped into it, then dropped, and the change of the state. 15, where's the same thing, same thing. So I'd like to see price drop here into that gap, and obviously maybe lower, but this will be my main target, this low there. And the Asian range is the one that would give me like the standard deviation targets. Let's see. That's pretty much it. We might obviously take off this low. So we might obviously take out this low here. Let's remove this. And yeah, I like to see price potentially drop. Let's see if we can get an internal confirmation, internal sell side confirmation. We also have this low as a target. Okay, so I'm gonna go on it and be waiting there. Okay, got another one higher. And if you zoom So you have a down close candle here, push. So this is the last of the close below the last down close candle, creating a shift. The structure leaving behind. Good for value gap and another for value gap. So I'd like to see price have some kind of retracement. Okay, so I think this is enough. We've touched the 2-minute change in the state. So now I would sell it. Sorry, I'd like to see it sell. I will target the fair value gap, and my SL will be about this candle here. It's down close. Risk 1% consistently throughout the whole thing. So we start by going in some drawdown, and we go back into drawdown again. So I'm willing to hold this for the whole day. Yo, this will be the most annoying thing of all time. Don't hit the daily target. You're just leave it hanging just like that. PM session just dropped the daily gap. Please. Very annoying. Very annoying. Let's see. The whole day ends up not reaching there. And I go back to the 1 hour. And I call this greed. I'm very certain that this is not much greed. It's just the daily low that I was targeting. The full daily range. And end up not hitting it. I know this thing will mark it as a win. While it was a break even. Down break even. This is disappointing. And the funny thing is, let's go back to the 5. If I had like made my stop loss any smaller, let's say somewhere around here, so I can target a 1, 2, 3 somewhere inside here, I'll get a stop. But if the stop was around here for 1 to 1, well, obviously I'm gonna win. So sweep, we've got the shift here and turn the real retracement to the gap. Well, let's go to the next day open here. So we back tested for a period now. So as it's looking, yes, it's really far now. This day was bearish in Q and yesterday this is about 1, but ES didn't do a thing, didn't do any single thing. And as it looks, we took out the daily low, we took out the daily high. Things that typically happen on the high time frame. Sorry, on the all-time high. So we took out the lows now. Push higher, have the shift. I'm looking for bullish movement unless market proves me otherwise. Whoa, today's NFP. Be cautious. So we might target the data lows or the data highs. Let's check the 5, the 15. So this is NFP. We've already taken out the high, and ES hasn't done that yet, showing that we might target the data lows. Because when you go to the 4H, you can see price was extremely bullish, retracements, but if we can drop into this gap, maybe we might look for more buys. But now in the 1H, this is where the London lows are. That will be the next possible targets. I'd like to see the price show me potential entry inside of these moves, because then I will target these data lows. This one here, And we have kind of SMT from this high here. As it price created a high here, failed to do so. SMT inside there. And price also ends up taking out the high on EQ. How's the 1 minute? So the 1 minute lives behind this gap. It's the same thing in 2 minute. So that will be the gap that I would enter on. Let's see if we can retrace back into it. Boom, we get the retracement. Even though it's aggressive and taking out these lows. Looking for price to go lower, nonetheless. And don't reject as I wanted to see price do so. And once again, price is putting in some SMTs. This here, so wasn't validated. This. So I think this auto block is holding price as well, and I think it's time we get the reversal. After all, we're in the macro. 2 minute, 1 minute. Okay, here the 1 minute might give me something potentially. Okay, so how's this looking like? So and the 5, so 5 minute end up closing below this candle, and you can see we trace back into it. So 5 minute will go for, that means we have a higher, like bigger SL. Let's risk another 1% in this one and move away. So I'll be watching out with ES, just in case price tries to do some dirty things to us, because ES will form some kind of SMT then. We're still consolidating, and price ends up continuing higher. Almost line short, so if line finishes without us having any push, we'll see what happens. It's already lunch and we get stopped out. So data lows, not a guaranteed target. Let's check how the analytics are looking though, and though I know they're pretty trapped. Yeah, very crazy move. Very crazy recovery from. Yeah, I think that would be all for the session. Stay blessed and till we meet again. Peace.